Welcome to Tree of Life Connection. Today, our topic is about air. You've joined us for the last couple of weeks, and we've talked about the way to have optimum health through New Start. We've talked about nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine. We've even talked about how to be temperate in all things. And today, we are going to talk about air. I do want to remind you that these educational sessions are for educational purposes only. If you have any questions, you are invited and encouraged to ask your physician. Today, I have with me Emilyn Mark, and she's going to talk about air, which is the breath of life. But before she comes on, I want to read a scripture from Genesis. Genesis 2:7 says, "The Lord formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being." And so we know that air is essential for health and well being. Welcome, Emilyn. I'm so glad you're with us today.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for that introduction. And it is so true. Ear is so important. That three-letter word, ear, is simple, just a three-letter word, but and we take it for granted. Air is a mixture of many gases and dust particles. 78% of the air is made up of nitrogen, 21% of the air is oxygen, and 1% is in the form of other gases, namely hydrogen, argon, and carbon dioxide. Of all these various gases, oxygen is the most important gas. In order for any living thing on Earth to survive, it must have oxygen. We can live without food and water for several days, but we cannot live without oxygen for even a few minutes. Every breath that we take contains oxygen, which is filtered through the lungs and enriches the blood with life-sustaining oxygen. This oxygenated blood circulates and nourishes every organ, tissue, and cell in our bodies. Therefore, it is important to breathe clean, fresh air as much as possible. Breathing pure, fresh air is essential for maintaining good health. Today, I'm going to talk about fresh air and polluted air and how to obtain fresh air for optimal health. As we all know, polluted air is harmful to the body. This is the air that contains smoke, smog, carbon dioxide, ground level ozone, positive ions, and other pollutants. I'm going to talk more about that. Polluted air is mostly found in cities, crowded areas, in confined spaces such as offices, industrial areas, schools, buses, cars, and so forth. Studies have shown polluted air to cause eye irritation, shortness of breath, decrease in physical performance, and worsen lung and heart conditions. Other studies have also stated that outdoor air pollution may be the ninth leading cause of death and disability in the world, and is responsible for millions of deaths from lung cancer, emphysema, heart disease, stroke, and respiratory infections. Furthermore, other studies show that in the United States, living in a populated city was associated with 16 to 28% increase in total cardiovascular and lung cancer, cardiovascular disease and lung cancer death compared to living in a city with cleaner air. Have you ever stopped to think that polluted air can also be found indoors? Indoor air is said to be as much as 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. According to Dr. Neil Medley, 50% of all illnesses are either caused by or aggravated by polluted indoor air. The reason for this is due to poor ventilation. Poor ventilation can cause air contamination, thus leaving the occupant feeling drowsy, complain of headache, and lethargy. The level of some hazard pollutants are found to be 70 times greater indoor air than outdoor air. Why is that? For example, some of our furniture and appliances could be the culprit. Formaldehyde, there are some glues with resins, adhesive, adhesive found in building materials like presswood and laminate wood. There are some types of flooring, such as carpeting or foam pads, contain some of these toxic chemicals that I just talked about. Other indoor pollutants include, but not limited to, cleaning chemicals, pesticides, paints, smoke from cooking, tobacco smoke, mold, mildew, viruses, bacteria, animals, dander, dust mite, pollens, and cockroaches. Another contributing factor to indoor pollutants is small particles, matters, that is suspended in the air. These small particles can get into the lungs and lodge in the base of the lungs, thus causing various types of illnesses. Do you know that every minute of the day, we inhale about 8 quarts of air into our lungs and travel through our system? If we stop to think about that one fact, that's a lot of air. That's about 2 gallons of air every minute we breathe. Therefore, you can understand why it is so important for us to dose our bodies with good, fresh, clean air. Unlike polluted air, clean air acts as a lung cleanser. Clean air decrease asthma and allergens and allergic symptoms. It reduces the chance of lung and heart diseases. It improves our skin appearances. It helps with digestion. Is a psychological and emotional stabilizer, normalize sleep patterns, and improve our mood. Going outdoor is the best way to obtain fresh air. Nature is the best way to obtain clean, fresh air. The best type of fresh air is found around waterfalls, rivers, any moving, body of water, around evergreen trees, and after a thunderstorm. Have you ever gone outside after a thunderstorm and felt how crisp and clean the air felt? Even the plants perked up and everything looked greener around you after a thunderstorm. Or have you walked along the beach or close to a waterfall and you felt invigorated after breathing in that air around you? It is because you were breathing in air full of negative charge ions. No, you do not have to be at the beach or beneath a waterfall to obtain negative charge ion or charged air. Negative charge air is found in abundance in the natural outdoors. Clean air is made up of negative ions, while polluted air contains more positive ions. And we need negative ions. Here are some benefits of negative ion charged air. Negative charged air can improve the sense of well-being, increase the rate and quality of growth in plants and in animals, It improved the function of the lungs. Um, it improved the function of the lungs, protective celiac. Those are those little hairy things that ward off particles from getting into our lungs. It decreased anxiety. It helps keep you calm and relaxed. It keeps you alert, decreased body temperature and resting heart rate. Ionized air kill bacteria and viruses in the air. Fresh air improves learning and can decrease the severity in stomach ulcers. A Dutch study showed that just by living near green spaces can decrease 15 different health conditions. Some of these conditions were heart disease, diabetes, chronic neck and back pain, migraine headaches, and asthma. Another study published in a Journal of Social Science and Medicine found that individuals living near green spaces, that's, out there a lot of trees are, had a lower rate of smoking and higher chances of quitting. Previous studies also conducted by the same author showed being, being able to see green spaces just by looking out your window and able to see greenery around you. It was associated with reduce in craving for alcohol, cigarettes, and unhealthy foods. Countries around the world have realized the harmful effects of breathing polluted air and have come up with environmental protection laws. The Clean Air Act, which was established in 1970 and later amended in 1990, has helped to reduce some of the air pollution around our cities. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, the amendment made to the act to, I'm sorry, the amendment made to the act prevented 230,000 early deaths by 2020. So deaths were prevented just by these different changes that we made to decrease environmental pollution. Due to the act, due to the Clean Air Act, pollution from emissions and pollution from factories and have been reduced. Although some changes have been made, there's always more that we can do as individuals to keep air pollution at the lowest level so we can benefit from breathing cleaner, fresher air. Here are some pointers on how to maximize obtaining good quality air. The lungs is the vehicle our body uses to absorb fresh air. We inhale oxygen and breathe out poisonous gas like carbon dioxide. Every minute, 5 quarts of blood passes through the lungs, releasing carbon dioxide and absorbing oxygen. Hence, it behooves us to maximize the intake of good fresh air. For starters, we need to learn how to breathe properly. Good posture is required in order to get air into the lungs, deep into the lungs. Good posture. Sitting up straight and avoid slouching. Practice taking deep breaths, 6 deep breaths per minute. Take in 1 breath every 10 seconds. Remember, when you inhale, your stomach must go out. So you inhale, stomach goes out, and as you exhale, your stomach goes inwards. This helps the lungs, the diaphragm to expand, allowing the lungs to expand and fill up with air. In fact, the practice of deep breathing can prevent certain types of pneumonia. Avoid exercising around polluted environments, such as areas around factories or close to the roadside where cars are passing and giving off these different emissions. Because the air around these areas are found to have increased concentration of ground level ozone. Ground level ozone contains positive ions. Remember, negative ions are good, positive ions are not. So positive ions contain smog, carbon dioxide, and other contaminants. If you live in the city, try getting up early in the morning when the air quality is less polluted to enjoy the outdoors. Studies have shown cooler air, like early morning fresh air, has less contaminant compared to later in the day. It is a good idea to check the weather report for air quality index of the day for particular pollution. The weather reporter usually tells you when particle levels expected to be unhealthy. Air quality index from 0 to 50 or in the yellow zone is good. Above 50, or if it's in the orange zone, red zone, you will need to take some precaution, especially those suffering from lung or heart disease. If possible, increase negative ion intake by walking near running water like rivers, waterfall, beaches, visit parks or green open areas. It's been noted that the air around the ocean, especially at night, is usually fresh and easier to breathe. Ocean air contains some salt and trace elements such as magnesium that helps to boost good health. If you do not live close to one of these areas, aim to visit such an area once a week if possible. One study indicated individuals who visited green spaces once a week reported better physical and mental well-being. Minimize indoor pollution by opening up windows for fresh air. Individual who lives in healthy, individuals who live in heavily polluted areas such as in the city, experts recommend airing out your home at night because smog levels fall significantly after sunset. Radon gas is said to affect 1 out of every 15 homes in America. It is important to eliminate radon gas from our homes. According to the American Lung Association, radon is the second leading cause of cancer in the United States. Again, proper ventilation can get rid of radon gas built up in your home. Another pointer is engage in dusting and cleaning. Avoid household chemicals or products that produce chemical fumes. Prevent mold and mildew by fixing pipes that are leaking in the home. Utilize a negative ion air purifier can help to maintain indoor air pure. Negative ion clear the air of airborne allergens such as pollen, mold spores, bacteria, and viruses. Negative ion air purifiers can cleanse or clear the air of dust, pet dander, and cigarette smoke. Potted plants naturally increase oxygen and level of negative ions while reducing carbon dioxide. God created plants with the ability to absorb carbon dioxide in the exchange for oxygen, which we as humans need. We all can take part to improve our environment and air quality by planting more trees and saving trees from being cut down. We can participate in reducing air pollution by keeping the air cleaner by following some of the guidelines from the EPA. For example, keep cars, boats, and other engines properly tuned, avoid engines from smoking, avoid extended idling of vehicles, be careful not to spill fuel, and always tighten your cap on your gas cap securely to avoid evaporation of gas into the atmosphere. Carpool as or use public transportation, bike or walk whenever possible. Use household or workshop and garden chemicals in ways that keep the environment to a minimum, or try to delay using these chemicals when there's poor air quality in the forecast. These are just few of the ways to help protect our environment. You can find lots of this information by going to the EPA website to learn more. In closing, fresh air is important for survival. We need more air than we need food because we cannot live without food. Therefore, we need to find ways to obtain clean, fresh air. Going outdoors when air is clean and fresh. Take deep breaths to enhance lung function. Maintain good posture. Surround your home with proper ventilation. Keep your house clean by deep cleaning at least twice a year. And most of all, thank God for his breath of life he so graciously gave us all freely. Thank you.
Oh, Emilyn, what a wonderful overview about the benefits of clean, fresh air. But you also talked about the harmful pollutants that are found indoors and outdoors that we need to minimize. So I have one question regarding, I know you talked about there's cleaning materials that can be actually give off fumes and pollutants, but what about perfumes and lotions that are scented? Are those considered I mean, would those be categorized? Would that affect breathing, should I say? Could that affect the air quality?
Yeah, I want to believe so that it can affect the air because some of these perfumes are made with chemicals that could be harmful to our environment. I know they have talked about sprays, aerosol sprays. Um, because of those aerosol sprays, it affects the ozone layer, which we need an ozone layer for protections against pollutants. So some aerosol sprays can affect our ozone layer. So therefore, they have kind of they did away with a lot of ozone sprays. But these chemicals that are in perfumes can um, affect our environment. So using natural oils could be uh, a way of, um, you know, for us to use instead of perfumes that have these chemicals. Look for perfumes that are natural in nature, not those that are chemical with all those chemicals in it, because it not only affects our environment, it affects you as you put it on your body.
So, you have actually given us so many different ways, Emmeline, for us to get fresh air into the home. I like that you talked about opening the windows, dusting, bringing plants into the home. Those are all ways that can help with having clean air in our environment. Do you have any closing thoughts, Emmeline?
Um, you know, we just always need to try and look for ways in how we can be healthy, stay healthy.
Hold on
And
just
as
one.
I pointed out,
So, Emmeline, any last thoughts that you'd like to share with the audience regarding the importance of air?
sure, I just want to encourage everyone to try and um, get pure, fresh air as much as possible, even in your homes, because we don't realize how contaminated our homes are because of the environment, or the area you live, or because of fear of people coming in and steal and what have you. We have our homes all locked down, tight, sealed
Mhm.
down. Nothing can get in or out, and we need fresh air coming in. So open your ears, your windows early in the morning. Open up the windows so that fresh air can come in for about an hour or so. Even in the summertime, we still need to open up. Turn your air condition off, open up the windows, let that fresh air come in. Because in the morning the sun is not so hot, so you can get that fresh air. Or late in the night, in the evening, when the sun is down, you can open up your windows, let fresh air come in. You will be surprised to see how you feel. It's been said that we exhale what? 30 quarts of carbon dioxide every hour in the air we exhale. So just imagine if you have your house sealed down that tight, nothing can get in and out. All the people, they said just two people in a room exhale 190 cubic feet of air every 8 hours. And the air we exhale is carbon dioxide, poisonous air we exhale. So after a while, the home will become stale. That's why you have that stale air, and the air condition is on and it's just circulating that stale air all through the house. So I cannot emphasize enough the importance of getting fresh air. Start by opening up your windows, let fresh air come in, and get revived and see how you will feel. Some of the headaches maybe you have, and all of this, lethargy and not feeling good, don't have enough energy, maybe it might disappear because you're not breathing in fresh air.
So it sounds like fresh air can actually perk up how you think and how you feel. So it sounds like there's so many benefits of fresh air. And I think I would like to remind our viewers that because we're wearing masks and we need to wear masks to protect ourselves and to protect the spread of any type of viruses, it is important when we take the mask off that we breathe, like Miss Emilyn said, breathe in that fresh air, cleansing breath 6 to 8 times, and really just really make sure that we're actually removing those toxins from the body. Because having the mask on is a protectant, but at the same time, we're exchanging air within such a small space. And I love that you talked about the green spaces when we're outside in the green or bringing plants into the home, how they actually purify the air. So I believe that you've given us some practical examples of how we can begin today breathing better,
That's right.
living
Because, yeah,
better,
uh,
you
because,
know?
yeah, trees exhale carbon dioxide. That's why when you among evergreen trees, those, tall trees or just trees, greenery, that's why you feel like you're rejuvenated because of the amount of oxygen these trees are producing, and you are inhaling that good fresh oxygen.
Yes. So thank you for sharing that even when if we live in this city that may be very polluted, at night is probably the best time to open the windows to allow the air to come into the home to remove the pollutants. So I want to thank our viewers for joining us. We've talked about how do you have breathe the breath of life so that you can actually have quality of life. And so our next topic is what, Emily? What are we talking about next?
Oh, the next would be rest.
Oh, okay. So we'll talk
Yes.
about the rest of your life. How's that?
Yes.
But today I want to thank our viewers for joining us to talk about the breath of life, which God breathed into man, into the nostrils, and then man became a living being. And so every day, as Emily said, that we can live without food, even go a couple of days without water, but we need to breathe and breathe deeply and breathe fresh air and clean air so that we can have the best life possible. Until next time, breathe deeply, breathe clean air, and thank you so much for joining us.